Abortion is murder. The fact that it was still at blood level doesn't mean it wasn't a baby. Because that blood has a voice. It can talk. It didn't stop you from being a father. He also didn't stop you from being a mother. You're just the mommy of a dead baby.
What's the scariest thing that could happen to a woman in the process of abortion?
If you're not ready to be pregnant, why you should be having sex with someone you're not using protection? If he comes and say he loves it raw, tell him to go and fight wrestling. I cry for people that take emergency contraceptives as the people that pop emergency contraceptive, especially this one. I'll mention this one because it's popular posting on too. They pop it like, they drink it like water. Do you know what you're doing to yourself?
If you are not ready to take responsibility for your sexual urges, then leave sex alone.
When it comes to do with abortion, aborting a child, is abortion mother or a woman's rights? It is the prayer of every woman to have the fruit of the womb. Some even join Hallelujah Challenge to experience this encounter, while others are busy flushing out the baby. But now the simple question is, as a woman, you are busy flushing out the baby. And some feel that it is their right, of course, about the medical health. But is abortion mother or a woman's rights? Amazing people, the voice of essence, relevance, and purpose. Friends love calling me Mr. Uproot the Issue. I'm here again. I sit down here to discuss issues. I talk as a day like that, raw, just to prefer solutions to the problem you are facing as a person in the family and society. And you will be wondering, why are we talking about abortion? We have young ladies, we have many persons, even in marriage, they make the decision of not having the child, flushing it out, maybe victim of circumstances, and so reasons, many feel so bad. The stigma stays throughout the lifetime. Men even pressure ladies into aborting a child. But then you dare to ask yourself, why is abortion not legal, or should it be legal in our own climate? I am proud here to join by two fantastic guests, because when it has to do with topics like this, we need a balanced perspective from the female and the male wing. So that you won't say, uproot the issue, boy, you too, they like attack women. No, we are not attacking them. Women, we need to have a man here to also talk about this issue. And in our culture, I too love ladies, so I love women a lot, understand? That's why you people like me. So I will actually see and actually pay homage to the lady seated by my very, very right. A very, fantastic woman that talks about, advocates for the rights of ladies, the child, girl child, women, and she is a strong, pivotal force in the society when it has to do with making legal decisions that will shape your life for the lifetime. Proud to be joining this talk showroom is a family life shaper. She is a wife and a mother. The husband talks about relationship. I wish the husband is here with me as well. But then we're proud to have Barrister Esther Edidion. Good to have you, ma. You are shining too much.
Thank you.
Are you in Nigeria or are you outside Nigeria? Thank you so much for honoring this invitation, ma.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, very troublesome man. I wonder why many people are licensed to offer medical services, but this one, of all the things about medical line, he decided to specialize in sex and reproductive health. But then he is one fantastic voice, the voice you need in the reproductive wing to talk about, educate you, sensitize you about the right decisions you should make when it concerns with your reproductive life. Many women acclaim you as the only one that comes through for them when they are in menstruation, when they are facing cramps. And while men over there acclaim him as the redeemer of 2 minute men. I mean, fantastic man doing fantastic thing on intimate matters. He's a podcaster, a registered nurse Akwawo Akman.
Wow, I didn't know about the redeeming.
Why did you? After you didn't redeem, the last time you redeemed someone for 2 minutes, he ended up lasting for 30 seconds.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you, sir.
It's my pleasure being here.
I mean, I think Nurse Akwawo, this is his second time on Uproot the Issue podcast. He came to uproot Japa's issue. Now he's here to uproot abortion. So I feel it's the right time we should start the conversation. Okay, so yeah, you are wonderful, fantastic, evergreen podcast hosts that you would have anytime, any day. You love to call me Mr. Uproot the Issue My name is Ekemine Ekwere, your host. So let's get it started. So, yes, about abortion, come very close. Are you actually a victim? It's your right, okay? And if you did it, don't feel too bad, okay? We are not, and please, if you are a believer, and don't bring in the religious aspect on this. I remember when we started lectures that time, the lecturer would tell you, please keep whatever you believe aside. So for a perfect and a balanced conversation, please just be open-minded. See it as a conversation that affects even, because the truth about life is you will not really know how it hits you till it gets to you. So join us as we start the conversation. Now the question on the topic is abortion mother or woman's right? Do you feel that flushing out a baby, sorry, I'm using that word, do you think it is actually the act of killing, or it is the right of a woman to do that? Join us as we start the conversation, but then I would love to honor the lady. So I'm moving to the barrister. You see, ma'am, in Nigeria, in the legal sphere, we talked about rights. Yes, I know, at least in the elementary, knowledge of governments and social studies, I've meant to understand that it's what we call civil rights. Rights to life and rights to freedom of choice. You have the choice to make anything. But then, when it comes to do with aborting a child, is it the right of a woman, because those are two rights concerned, the freedom to make the choice and the freedom to life. And so if you deny a child the freedom of having access to this planet Earth, which one is prior? Is it the right of a woman that is concerned first, or the rights of the child?
Okay, abortion is murder. Let's be clear on that.
Jesus.
Abortion is killing someone. It's almost like removing a gun to shoot someone, just that this time around, the baby is inside the womb. So let's get that straight. Abortion is murder. And I know there are people that say, oh, abortion is my right, my body, my right, my body, I do what I want. But rights is relative. When you say something is my right, let me give you an instance. If we both are tenants and we live in a building, you have the right to quiet possession. You can do whatever you want to do in your apartment. I can do whatever I want to do in my apartment. But when you start playing loud music or doing whatever that affects me, that's where your right stops. So everyone has, civil right, which is right to life, but it stops when your own right affects
the other
or
person,
breaches the rights of another person. So you as a mother, if you claim that that is your right, the baby in your womb has the right to life. So where your right to do whatever you want to do with your body stops when it affects the baby's right to life. So that's why I said abortion is murder. It is nobody's right, because nobody has the right to take another person's life.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm actually coming to that aspect because while I did like begin, we won't come and witness supper. So now Gignos, when we talk about abortion, many persons in your community have been raising concern. When we talked about this, you had many trading questions about abortion. Should I abort the baby? And now the question is it safe to abort a child?
Okay, so when we talk about safety in terms of aborting a child, I want to say that from the medical perspective, at least, different people, different jurisdiction, people have their own rules and regulation. But in Nigeria, it's actually legal. For the fact that it's illegal in the medical space, it becomes unethical as a medical professionals for you to either do it, or get involved in it, as the case may be. So now, when they talk about safe abortion, in the context of medical case, something is safe when you can freely have access to it. You should freely, medically, legally, you are allowed to freely engage in it, freely allowed to have access to what you are. But in Nigeria, that's not allowed. So oftentimes, abortion in Nigeria is unsafe. Because since it's illegal, it has to be done illegally. And when something is done illegally, it means that there has to be a whole lot of cutting corners. People have to jump. like I was sharing with you before we came. So in my community, someone was talking about that and was asking some questions, and I told her that this is what it is. This is the reality we're seeing in terms of my scope of practice as a medical professional in this country. But nonetheless, what I had to realize was that she had a choice and decided to move on with that choice. But it means that if you're moving on with that choice, you have to cut a whole lot of corners, and that becomes quite very, very unsafe. So the procedure, oftentimes it's unsafe, especially within the climate of what we see, because people then do not have access to, the right resources, the right equipment, and the right personnel that they should have access to, because it's not allowed in Nigeria.
Okay. When it has to do with the problem of one making decision, first, it is the situation or the circumstance. In early philosophy, I was taught situationism, that claiming what is right or wrong, it's actually determined by the situation or circumstances that surround the scenario. So that's why the concept here of abortion, talking about maybe, situations do warrant persons to, abort the child. Maybe, for example, for the young ladies, if the person is raped, at the age of 15. So would you advise, or what do you think, is abortion now murder in cases of rape or something that we don't prepare for?
Incest.
It happens. So is abortion, if a person gets to abort that child, is it murder or trying to at least get away from the shame or shattering our future for life?
Okay, just like I said, abortion is murder, except in the cases of, medical emergencies, like, the nurse is here, maybe like, I think, ectopic pregnancies.
Yeah. So I wanted to come to that, because there are actually positions that the law makes requirements that, because she talked about the fact that where your right stops. So in cases where the pregnancy going further will become detrimental to the health of the mother,
Okay.
that is allowed.
Oh, it's allowed?
Yes, that is allowed.
Okay.
In exceptional cases, and that's what we just mentioned, ectopic pregnancy is actually dangerous for, the life of the mother. So when you put the two together, the mother's life comes first. So those are like the few exceptions where you can, say, okay, abortion is legal. But abortion generally is murder. And in the case you just mentioned of, let's say, a young girl, she's, raped and all of that. What has happened to her is unfortunate. It's traumatizing. It's I don't even have the right words to describe that. But it doesn't take the fact that killing that child or removing that child is murder. And I would explain further. Everyone has a life. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and there's no way I can talk about any matter without bringing that in a little, because that's part and parcel of me. And so you see scriptures, in the scriptures, in Jeremiah chapter 5, chapter 1, verse 5, God saying to Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, I called you, I ordained you. So there's a purpose for every child. Every single child who comes into the world, it doesn't matter what means you came into the world through, whether it was by rape or through, consent by husband and a wife. It doesn't matter the means. As long as life comes into you, as long as you are being conceived, God has a purpose for you. God has a plan for that child. God has a purpose for that child. God knew the child before the child. In fact, there's another translation that says, before I shaped you. So before the child even had, hands and legs and eyes, why it was even still blood, why it was still cells. Scripture says, I knew you, I ordained you, I preordained you, I have a destiny for you, I have plans, holy plans for you. So every child has a purpose. Every child has a destiny, a preordained destiny. It is irrelevant how the child is conceived or how the child was conceived. As long as the child was conceived, that child has a destiny, and that child's life cannot be taken away from him. And I understand the trauma it will be on the young child, which is why I would say, to make it easier for that child, Because dealing with the whole, oh, I was raped, and then you're having to look at the child every day, reminder of your pain. There are different options that are open or available for you, which I would suggest. First, that child should not even be allowed to, push out like normal delivery, because you're already dealing with pain of rape. You don't want to allow that, child go through pushing out through normal labor. So I would first recommend, if that child should have, when the child is having the baby or the 15-year-old is having the baby, it should be CS. That's one. And then number two, so that since that's a traumatic experience, if you have the grace, which you should trust the Lord to help you, knowing that even the bad thing that happened to you, God wants to bring, though it's a mess, God wants to bring a message out of it, But if you cannot cope with all of that, your parents or the lady or the child involved cannot cope with it, you give up that child for adoption. You give birth to the child, and if physically the child reminds you of the pain and you can't cope with that, the moment the child is born, you give that child up for adoption. Because just like you said, there are many people going to Hallelujah Challenge, trusting God, going to Shiloh, trusting God for the fruit of the womb. You will be partnering with God to answer the prayer of someone else. So you don't have a right to take the life. It doesn't matter, even if it was rape, even if it was incest, as bad as the process of bringing that child or conceiving that child, as bad as that situation or that process was, you still don't have a right to take that child's life. Give birth to the child. The one who ordained that child, the one who allowed conception take place, has a purpose for that child. And if you can't deal with it physically, give that child up for adoption. That's just my take.
Okay, ma. Before I just move back to the nurse. You see, there, just like you said, there is a Latin parlance that has mens libertis decipit, hubitua incipit. That means that your right ends where the right of another begins.
Yeah.
So now the question of abortion, now you get to see men, pressuring ladies, maybe after sex or something, and they will tell you, don't enter after. So now the next option is to abort the baby for the man. And the woman here, for some reasons, believe that she should keep the child. So does a man have any say in discontinuing the pregnancy of a woman? Because the truth is, in as much as the woman has the right, yes, it's a choice, but is the man's place also involved? So can a man actually pressure a woman or decide that the woman discontinue or shouldn't go ahead with the abortion?
Okay. Just like I said, even the woman does not have the right to abort a child. So it's not, before we come to the man, even the woman does not have the right to abort a child, because that is you committing murder. And murder is a sin. Murder is an offense. Even in our Nigerian laws, murder is an offense, punishable by death by hanging, or life imprisonment. So either way, spiritually or scripturally or civil-wise, it is an offense. So for the man, you don't even, like we both established, the only situation or cases where abortion is now a right for the woman is in cases of medical emergencies, where it will put her own life at risk. Because her life comes first before that of the baby. Okay, so where it will put her life at risk, that is where we can say, okay, terminate the pregnancy so that she can live. Okay. Do you understand? But in no way does the man have a right. Like I said, the woman doesn't even have the right, not to talk of the man. The woman who is even carrying the child does not have a right to end the pregnancy. So how much more the man? The man has no right whatsoever to end or, put to an end the pregnancy. Because like we've established in the beginning, nobody, man or woman, has the right to take the life of another human being.
Okay,
but when you look at the reality of what happens, most people, like you said, incidents, occurrences, and people want to opt for it. So when you talk to most men, most of the issue is always like, I'm not ready. Mm-hmm. So for me, the choice of pregnancy, the choice of going through pregnancy as a whole, tells on the woman, because she's like, the primary person that is bearing the load. Then whatever happens to the man is a secondary stuff or an indirect stuff. So I feel that women as a whole should take more responsibility, because it baffles me most times in my practice where a woman comes to me and say, I'm having unprotected sex. And I'm like, okay, why are you having it? And he said, because my man wants me to have it. Now, someone said something to me earlier today in my community about the issue of sex and pregnancy. So because someone joined the community and was talking about getting pregnant, but then wanted to abort. And another person was like, if you didn't want to keep the child, why didn't you use protection? And then somebody asks, so does that mean sex is a consent to pregnancy? That was how he put it. Is sex a consent to pregnancy? And the person replied, unprotected sex is a consent to pregnancy. Because you cannot do a process and not expect a result.
What kind of result?
Pregnancy is the most probable result of sex. In fact, if pregnancy doesn't happen during sex, it's because something, whether natural or unnatural, has stopped it from happening. But sex is equal pregnancy, all things being equal. Mm-hmm. It's only when they are natural, maybe the woman is not ovulating, maybe she's using a product and the rest of the thing. So I feel women should take more responsibility, right? Because the issue is that if you know you're the one bearing the brunt of this problem, why do you allow somebody to make a choice on your life? I used to tell people that if I was a female, right, and I want to go and have sex, I can't do it unprotected except I'm ready. Because if you are having unprotected sex, it's a consent. Because you're putting your safety in somebody's hand. I feel men also do the same thing. See, this is the issue we see in the sexual health space. I believe you should protect me, and you believe I should protect you, and that's bad. So men will go and be like, I hope you know you can take care of yourself. Oh. I'm not ready. I hope you can take care of yourself. Oh, God, take care of yourself. The girl will be like, okay, I hope you withdraw. Madam, take care of yourself. Because if each other, like for me, I cannot put my choice on your hand. If I want to do this thing, I protect myself first.
Okay.
It's very essential. So that to avoid, my people say, no, but you
there is that touches the heart.
It's not even the heart in this case. It's going to touch your heart, touch almost all your body system, and it will touch your pocket. See, 9 months. 9 months is a long time. But then I feel, in this case, women decide for themselves. But then I know men will argue, because I see this a lot on the social media space, that if I told you I don't want and you decide to keep, I feel that anybody that decides to keep should be ready to bear the brunt. So to this reason, because it's women that they think is majorly, women have the right, not to abortion, but have the right because they know that they're the one that feel the most pressure to control the outcome. I don't know why you should, if you're not ready to be pregnant, why you should be having sex with someone you're not using protection. If he comes and say he loves it raw, tell him to go and fight wrestling.
Why should you even have sex if you're not ready to be pregnant, or if you're not ready for the responsibility that comes? That's just like enjoyment. You said. Enjoyment. If you want to enjoy, then get ready for the responsibility.
We can enjoy without.
See, my grandma.
No, that's the problem. Because you want to eat your cake and have it. You want to have sex, enjoy orgasm, enjoy everything. But then the product of sex you don't want.
No, we don't. We are not ready
if
for
you
the
don't
product.
want it, it's
There's
the same
product we don't want.
So it's still the same thing as me saying, okay, you have a child, you have 2 children, and then you lose your job. For instance, you don't have, it's going to be inconvenient for you to train these children. So you tell your wife, please give me gun. And then you say to your children, I'm so sorry. You see, it's going to be inconvenient. It's really, I'm not ready. I don't have a job now to train you people. It's going to be really inconvenient. So I'm sorry. I just have to kill you. Poop, poop, poop. You kill them. It's the same thing.
Those ones are finished goods.
No, it's the same
thing. This one is raw material.
It's the same thing. If you are not ready to take responsibility for your sexual urges, then if you're not ready to take responsibility, then leave sex alone.
The law is pleasure. Is
No.
Okay, so that's it. In fact, that's actually the rule. That's the
That's
best
it.
part. You abstain. But
Because this
But do you know that
sorry
there are
to
certain
cut you
children that
short.
should not come to this life?
No,
What
sorry.
about you talked about purpose student having purpose. How about the ones that are stealing? How
Okay.
about those
I don't.
thefts? How about
Okay,
those robbers?
so this is okay. You talked about people will look at it in different way, but if you look at nature, right? See, there's always a need to have the two sides of things, right? We can only they will say they say Passenger said in his song that you only appreciate sun when it's cold. You cannot tell me it shouldn't rain, right? Rain will fall, the sun will shine. It makes you appreciate. So when you talk about people coming to this world and being good and bad,
In the young teen, you got
see, people will always be good and bad. If you're saying that you take away, now, religiously, as a Christian that I am, I'm told that evil came into this world. Let's say you want to talk about nature. I was born to see good and bad in nature. Now,
You were even born a sinner.
even the people that are in the
No,
even the
don't say
even,
it's,
No, we're all born. We
Small
were
sin,
all
small sin,
every
small sin.
scripture
Small
says
sin.
all have sinned and come short. Did they, because of Adam, as you were born, there was sin inside of you.
Small one, small one.
so
We have-
so for people that don't believe in Adam,
Yes.
you come to nature and you see good and bad, right? So everybody will have to come together. It's like having life and death. There has to be to regulate life. Think of if all of us were living. Think of if your forefathers were living and now you are born, your great-great-great-grandfather is still living, and maybe you live to see your great. So all of those things come to balance. It's not your job to call the shots, right? Allow it to come and balance. So that is why you need to, for me, as a medical professional, you need to protect yourself. Know that this is a consent. If you are doing this, this is what is expected. If you don't want it to happen, like you said, you want the enjoyment, you don't want the product of the enjoyment, please do the needful. The needful cannot protect you 100%, by the way.
That is why.
But we hope
There's no hope.
that the
the
little
condom will burst and that child will come out. Yes, the condom will burst.
Is it a prayer?
Yes, it's a prayer.
No, the condom should stay.
No,
It
it's
should
a
stay.
prayer. If
No,
you don't
my-
want to leave it alone,
my own
that's
is,
why
oh.
sex was designed for marriage.
My own is
Like, we should
So
not-
that when you do it, you are not scared of pregnancy. Have
But
you ever
even in
seen?
marriage, there's
Have you
still
ever seen when a
protecting.
husband and wife are making love and they are scared? Will I get pregnant? It doesn't happen
See, I've
because it is in the right atmosphere.
the law, it happens.
See, the thing is, I've seen women, married women, abort children. In fact, the way it's looking, I may be wrong because this is not a study, but from feedback I'm getting, it may even be looking like more married people are even doing it
than even the
than even
singles.
the single people. Now, because of the fact that I'm married, you've talked about the economic realities. I already have 3
realities.
children.
I'm already
Why should I
no.
why should I have another one? I come from a family of altogether 8 children. My mom told me in confidence that she was asked to be like, madam, you rest now. And now when I look back, this is always when I look back at all my siblings, right? We may not be the high and the lows of this world, right? But when I look back, I wonder which one of them should have, which one of us should have, which one of us should actually have gone, right? Because each of us, we are unique in our own ways. So nobody should call. But if you're doing anything, know that you're giving the consent for pregnancy. Medically, we give you provisions on things that you should do to stop. We're not giving you, none of them is 100% that is going to stop. The only 100% is for you to abstain. So that is what it should actually be. So for women and men, I don't feel any man has the right to. And for a woman, if you allow anybody, like I usually say, to call the shot on your life, the after effect, which we'll talk about of abortion, will be on you and not the person. So whether it's the physical effect, is the psychological effect. See, you see this thing that when somebody dies, for example, you're going to be like, I know how you feel. Almost you can never know how that person feels.
I understand with you.
You do. You can never know. So it's the same thing like, so the person that the act is carried out on, who is secondary, like the partner in the context, like the guy, will never know how it he or she can sympathize, empathize, and I feel your pain as
Understand.
usual. But you never actually know. So if you know that you're the one that the thing will be on, please, it's your job to call the shot. Don't allow anybody call the shot on you. And if you decide, this is always mine, if you decide that you'll keep it, also know that there's a possibility that whatsoever is the consequences that comes, most likely you face it alone. So when you're about to go and do, I used to tell people, when it's sweeting you, because it's sweet though. In fact, if sex is not sweet to you, something is wrong. It's sweet though, as it's sweeting you, especially for the women, know that you'll bear the majority of the consequence. So they usually say, to whom much is given, much is expected, right?
Okay.
With great power comes great responsibility. As you are the one that is sweeting, you know you have the greater responsibility of protecting yourself and not allowing another person to call the shot. So whether I say he loves it raw, tell him to go and fight wrestling and allow it for you to use what you want to use.
Well,
to
they're not
protect
pounding
yourself.
someone in the process now.
They pound, no. They pound, no, but that's another thing. But in the long run, nobody should call the shots because I feel that it's the woman that bears the brunt. Only she can decide. Nonetheless, she should know that she doesn't have rights. The Nigerian government does not give her right. If she's a Nigerian, depends on the country. And the medical profession does not give her that right.
Okay, so to you, what's the scariest thing that could happen to a woman in the process of abortion?
Loss of life.
Are you licensed to?
I have,
We have people that do it. Too.
Yeah, there are people that do it. There are professional colleagues that do. Am I licensed to do it? Yeah, I'm certified. International Planned Parenthood Federation.
To kill someone.
I've certified me to do medical abortion. But nonetheless, like I said, I as a healthcare professional have rights. I think that's something people don't realize. So just like a client has or a patient has the right to refuse, I can come and want to touch you. And you tell me, no, don't touch me. I don't want you to give me care. Right? I, as a health professional, also have rights. That's why I can decide certain procedures I want to do, I don't want to do. You understand?
I understand.
So I go to school and they pump me with all of this. They'll give you all the knowledge you need to know.
And you cannot use it.
It's not I cannot use it. I don't want to use it.
Why don't you want to use it? Is it not the knowledge they gave you?
Is it
to
not my
save
choice?
Life, to preserve life.
Okay, now to shoot gun, should I use it?
I shoot it if it's
So, yes, I may be certified to do it. But like I said, the country of jurisdiction that I am does not allow me.
Okay, but if we fly,
okay, if I fly out, no, I won't do it.
You won't still do it.
I won't do it. Because on my own personal belief, I don't want to do it.
I put it, they will take that license from this guy.
No, it's my, you can't take it from me. So the
Because he's doing it
the
medically.
ethical considerations in this stuff, people will always be for here or for there. It is their right. You can't take it from me because you also be taking away my right to express my opinion. I have that freedom. That's why I don't know how to put it. Okay, apart from Nigeria that is illegal, other people that opt to do it, either as a medical professional or as a person in countries that are legal, I leave it for them and for what they believe, if they believe in God, and for their God to go and sort it out, right? When everything is said and done, I can, like you said, you shouldn't take anybody's life, right? But people will argue with you. People will make opinion. People will tell you their beliefs. Right. Now, because of rights and the fact that I need to respect your own personal opinion, right, I'll allow you have your opinion.
Okay.
Do what you want. But in that same case also, allow me have my own opinion. Allow me also have my own freedom. Right. If you believe in God, I'm saying this one especially for people that believe in God. I can't speak for people who don't believe in God. I don't speak for you. And also you're a Christian. Because when I say believe in God, people believe in God and believe in so many other things.
We like collaborate.
Yeah, some people, they collabo this thing. My God has made it known that nobody has the right to take anybody's life.
Simple.
It's as simple as that.
Even when that person that is coming in will inconvenience you.
Now, let me give you another argument people will say. Yeah, that's the truth. So, now somebody will be like, some people may say, no sin is greater. I'm not here to do debate with you about which sin is greater.
We have small sin and big sin.
No, this is the thing. So some people will be like, after all, they do this other one. Okay, for example, the fornication I did that resulted in the pregnancy, was it not a sin? If you choose to do any sin, what I tell you, or to do anything, know that there are consequences
In life.
and also know that you chase that consequences, right? I don't know, not allowing them, but there are people who come and tell you, I'm going to do this. It's like she talked about mother. There are people who walk into the locker and tell you, I killed this person. I know what will happen. I purposely killed you. So if the worst will happen,
Make it happen.
let the worst happen. So there are people like that. So there are people you tell and be like, see, they will tell me and be like, ignore, see, I know this thing is bad and it's illegal, but I go do one. Left for them and left for their consequences, either here or with whosoever it is that they believe in. But when it comes to right, it's a woman's right. And I think women should hold on to that right and hold on to that responsibility and ensure that they do not put themselves in harm's way just to please people.
There is a woman's what?
Yeah, it's a woman's right to decide if she wants to get pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to keep the child.
If she wants to get pregnant. About the keeping, it's also her choice.
Okay.
It's also her choice.
Because if the man doesn't want her to keep it.
I don't think... the thing is, you are the woman, no? Now you the feel am. He wants, he doesn't want to, you decide for yourself.
Okay.
Because like my people will say, now woman know be the papa of the pikin, no?
No, that wasn't. We don't identify. She went through a lot. She could not identify. Something that we are actually, don't mind me. It's just me. I don't like taking everything too serious.
Life is already
because
too serious.
Life, in fact, not even life. Nigeria, as we speak now, is way too serious. So, the whole thing that in as much as we may actually play around it, it's something that, yes, I know some persons sold out their consciences. Okay, some actually sold it out very fast. Some the mind they decide it's not here. So and when we have people that do this even in the rural areas. So sometimes I can remember when you see those ladies or those women coming in, and you see shame first, like even while they are walking in to that particular environment. In fact, once you just come in as a woman to that, they will just know that there's nothing else that is taking you other than this. So the first thing you see, shame in their faces. Some try to, cover, try at least to ensure that people, and they may even come very, very early, maybe around that 6 o'clock to ensure that people don't really see them. And you see shame, you see disappointment. And I do get to wonder, because you actually pointed that aspect, you see, the whole room, like the whole scenario, everything that happens in that room, and you as a person, as a medical person, like facing, you asked me, have you been in the room before? So maybe there is much more to what we may not really, really understand. Oh, this is how, because like you said, in the process, the woman may lost her life. So
I feel that the whole, okay, so we're going to look at this. Personally, I'm one that if you do a thing, chase it. Chase the consequences of what you do. That's my own opinion on life. Then when people come in, depends. First, if you come in to actually seek the care in Nigeria, like I come in, I want to do abortion, we will not fight to you. At least on the legal, like they say in Koro, they can go do one backyard. But on all things being equal, they'll not offer it for you. But if you're coming for post-care, you have it. Because at that point, whatsoever has been done has been done. Our job now is to try and see that we save your life. Because we also owe the right to save your life. Right?
Yes.
So, if it has already been done and maybe you're experiencing complication, please come to the hospital. Come, we'll save. Leave the shame at home. Come. We'll save your life. Come. And I tell my colleagues, and I say, if somebody comes to me, and for example, tells me, I'm having bleeding, and I told you, my job is not, you already decided what you wanted to do and you did it. My job is to take care of you as if you had come before and be like, Nosakwa, I want to do this, I would have told you, go, I won't do it. But now you did what you did, you come and get. So that's always the issue, because since it is illegal, people go for unsafe practice. If I want to tell you things people have done, you go to dormitory, people are using hangers or metal wires and insert it.
Jesus.
I come from an all-girls.
An
all-girls family, all-girls sibling family. Insert through the vagina.
Ew.
This thing you are saying, it's happening.
Like,
yes.
Okay. I'm not trying to imagine it.
No, you don't. You should, because even the thought of you, it may turn your tummy, but these are the realities we'll see. If you think I'm joking, once you leave here, go on your social media and type hangers.
Like the iron anger.
Yeah, like the iron anger. You see it. It's people who have been to girls' school will tell you this.
Away.
Is it taking mixtures, herbal mixture? Is it taking pepper? Like they'll buy pepper, pound it a whole this thing, mortar of paper and take it.
To kill what? Oh dear Lord.
So many things people are doing, right? Then comes those that use drugs, come the medical, more or less the invasive procedure that they do, right? So if you've gone through any of those things, I'm not here to call
Judge you,
judgment on
yeah.
you. Please come. Let us save your life. Because if you don't come, like I was telling, like the story I was telling you in my community about the girl, the issue she had is that she said she used the pills, she has already done the medical thing, and now it's about a week later, and she went to do test. I think a week or a month later, she does test and is still pregnant, meaning that there's a retained product from the pregnancy.
Yeah.
It did not completely expel. Now that's a problem. In fact, I was telling her, you are at home typing this. You should be on your way to the hospital. In fact, you should be inside a car going to the hospital typing this thing. So when all of those things happened, she was like, she was sharing her story and everything. In fact, still in that my community, because it was an anonymous session, somebody sent in and was like, please don't abort it. Give birth. I will adopt it legally. Someone that was like, I don't care how much it will be.
Out of.
In fact, when I posted that question, the first comment I had, somebody came and be like, look at me looking for a child.
Exactly.
so all of these things happen, but the care is open to everyone. Come for the care. Let's save your life. Let's preserve your life. Because if you don't have the right care, there's so many complications, dying, destruction of the reproductive organs, infertility in the future, and a whole lot of things. Now, also on the flip side, it doesn't also mean that people used to ask me if abortion has a relationship with infertility, but it's not like an equal to relationship. It doesn't mean that abortion, infertility. No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Because
that was what the question I wanted.
Yeah, that was the thing you want to ask. Because yes, it can be done right. I don't think I think you asked something like that. Yes, abortion can be done right. So in claims that are allowed, there are medical procedures stipulated, just like every other medical procedure, that it can be done right. So if it is done right, the risk of infertility is greatly reduced. Because why we are having a higher issue of infertility after abortion here is that our own is illegal, unsafe. That's how they call it. Using things that they should not use. Like that one, like the girl I was talking in this context now, if she was not careful of herself and she let go, she has a retained product of conception, grows into what we call a mole, can become a tumor. Tomorrow now they will say cancer of the womb or cancer of wherever, and everybody, Nigeria now, we love village people, and village people will come into the business and everybody. So come for the care. Yes, we accept the care. I told her the same thing. Go to the hospital. Leave your shame at them. Go to the hospital. Tell them this is what is going through, and they'll provide care for you.
Okay, yes, it's good to talk about the consequences of everything, because life itself is a product of chances, choices, and consequences. It's a fantastic conversation we are having here about abortion. Is it murder or the right of a woman? Do you feel that it's your right to take the life of a child, and you feel that there are certain, children you should not have? I do tell someone, I am a father. I'm a responsible dad. They are two different things. So yes, it's a topic that it may sound really funny, but then it's quite a sensitive conversation, because it has to do with what people, mostly ladies, have been put to do, what they may not have been prepared to do, and this in turn could affect their lifetime.
Sorry, please let me say something.
Okay.
I don't like pushing blames.
Okay.
Ladies, nobody's putting you to do what you shouldn't do. Now, except his coercion, I think that's the only avenue away from this. But from what we're saying, most of them is not coercion. If you allow yourself to get into the sexual process, choice. You choose not to use protection, choice. Your partner chooses not to use protection, choice.
Okay.
Right? So, like you said, you talked about chance, choice, and consequences. So let's start. So now you have a chance to leave home. Maybe you are now living on your own. That's your chance. Now make a choice to have man or to have this sexual act. And you have the choice to not use protection, you and your partner. The consequences will come now. So nobody puts them there. So everybody should own either their chance or their choices. Own it for yourself. Either I'm not doing, but if I want to do, this is what I want to protect myself. And then also know that you don't have the right, if it comes, to terminate the pregnancy. But if you decide it's a choice, Abi,
All right, yeah.
and then with that choice will come consequences.
So after sex, yes, maybe the lady gets pregnant, and the man lures her into aborting the child, and after the whole thing, the man leaves the responsibility for the lady. It happens, and we cannot dispute that fact. And in most cases, even the lady may lose her life in the process. So as a legal practitioner, which I believe there are so many ladies that must have been, they lost their life in this process, or even after the whole thing, you actually suggested this and you even forced me into it because you are not ready to take up the responsibility. And now you've left me to bear the burden by my own self. What do you think should be, what are the legal, steps the lady should take in this process? Even if in cases where maybe the lady actually eventually, lost her life, what should the family do?
Okay, where the lady loses her life in the process, the man is an accomplice. Okay, in the acts, he's an accomplice, and he's also going to put on trial for murder.
Okay.
Yes, he's going to put on his because he assisted, he gave consent, he's an accomplice, that's the word, okay, to that act, and then it resulted in her death. So the lady's parents can, sue the guy to court, and then, they will most likely rule that the guy is an accomplice and then guilty of murder, or maybe manslaughter, and then maybe it might not be death since it's not like a direct killing. Yeah. So maybe it might be life imprisonment or maybe some years, 10, 15 years, imprisonment. So the parents or the relatives of the girl can sue the guy, to court for that. But if the lady is still alive and, the guy leaves her, there's nothing she can do, legally.
Against the guy?
Yes, there's nothing because you both consented to have adult sex. And then it resulted, and then you have the child. Are you talking about when she has the child or when she does the abortion? Which one?
They both.
Because if it's when she has the child, you both consented to it. It's not the business of the law. You are adults, you decide to have sex, you have a child, go and train the child. But if it's that the guy lured you and the abortion happened, the law is already a crime. The fact that you did the abortion is already a crime. So as you're coming to report, they'll hold the both of you.
Double crime.
They'll hold the both of you. Do you understand? So you don't, either ways, you don't have, any right. And like I tell young ladies, and I also tell young men, see, the fact that you aborted, because, some people say, I'm not ready to be a father. I'm not ready to be a mother. I'm in school. I'm in 300 level. I want to finish. I'm not ready. The fact that you aborted it didn't stop you from being a father. He also didn't stop you from being a mother. You're just the mommy of a dead baby. And you are the daddy of a dead baby whom you killed.
Baby I never see.
Okay, yes, you're still the daddy. You killed. It's not that it eliminated the status that as I removed the baby, I'm not a mother. No, you're still a mother. In the future, when they say mothers stand this way, you should stand there. You are a mother. You're just the mother of a dead baby.
With my 2 eyes.
And that's what I'm going to address also. You've not seen the baby inside. Some people will say, no, it was not a baby now. I did it when the baby was 3 weeks old. It's just blood. It's just cells. See, in the book of Leviticus, I think Leviticus 17, verse 11, it says the life of the flesh is in the blood. You know what that means? It means life begins at the blood level. It doesn't need to develop hands and legs and eyes and nose. As long as it's still blood, tissues, cells, life has already begun. Abinos. Once there's fertilization of the egg and the sperm, life has started. So you cannot give the excuse that it's just blood. And let me even say about blood to let you know that blood is life, or that at blood level life has begun. When Cain killed his brother, I think in Genesis chapter 4 or so, and Cain killed his brother Abel. What did God say? He said, "What have you done? I hear the voice of your brother's blood crying." Blood has a voice. That's why I'm telling you that you are the mommy of a dead baby. The fact that it was still at blood level doesn't mean it wasn't a baby. Because that blood has a voice. It can talk. It actually can talk. We've heard stories of ladies who had done abortion, maybe multiple abortion or so, and then they are going on the road and they are just hearing cries of baby. There's no baby, but the children are tormenting them. They are just hearing the cries of baby. Because at blood level, because don't convince yourself that, I did not wait till the baby. Some people feel that, I did not wait till the baby was 8 months or 9 months. It was 2 weeks, 1 week. The baby was just blood. So I just flushed it out. No, that was still life. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Blood speaks. So once you flush that blood, even if it's at 2 days, even when you find out you're 2 days pregnant and you flush it out, you killed a life. And you are the mommy of a dead baby. Let me face the camera. You are the mommy of a dead baby. You are the daddy of a dead baby. It does not eliminate that status.
The way this thing...
It doesn't.
Daddy and mommy.
It doesn't, which is why...
When person days have a daddy, have a mommy.
Yes.
Hello, I'm a father.
No two doubt.
Which is why the right advice is, if you're not ready... I had a teacher in secondary school, an Igbo teacher, that would say, close your legs. Close it. Close the leg. There's a reason why sex was designed for marriage. You don't even want to carry the guilt of it. It's already told me, like I told you about that lady, that she had to come for deliverance. And part of the deliverance was go and beg your children, because there are many. Go and beg your children for forgiveness. Because they were following her all over. Yeah. She was almost losing her mind.
Oh, God.
And it happens. Some people, it might not be the physical hearing of voices, but the weight of the guilt. So don't even put yourself where the condom will burst. Don't even put yourself where, you did not withdraw fully or just a drop entered. Avoid, leave sex alone.
If you have no business with sex.
Urges, if you feel like having sex, go and have your bath. Have your bath. When you have your bath, carry Bible. Go to Lamentations. Go to the book of Lamentations or Revelation. When you read it like this, the whole something will melt. When you read judgment, when you read judgment, when you read judgment in the scripture, the feeling will die. I'm an advocate of no premarital sex.
Okay.
There's no need saying, I would do it safely. You cannot assure yourself. You cannot. I don't even want to go scripturally. Let me even talk normal, because there are some people that don't believe in God. You cannot. Ask the nurse. The condom can break. Withdrawal.
That one they fell on the normal.
There are ones that
Contraceptives fail. And then you are now faced with the child. And the consequences are a lot. Apart from your life and your health, there is Hey, do you know what it means to raise a child in 2025? Do you have an idea? I have a daughter. Do you know what it means to buy Pampers, buy baby food, school fees? Do you know how much school fees is? Even the cheapest school now, do you know how much it is?
There's no school that is 10,000 now.
So you don't need to just close. Yeah, let me speak like my teacher. Close your legs, cross it, close your legs, put it together, leave sex alone. Wait until you're married.
Okay.
So that sex is now beautiful. You are now enjoying it without any guilt.
Okay.
That's
okay. So before we call it a wrap, in just I won't say 1 minute because you have a lot to say, but then just briefly, for ladies that they love drinking, they love swallowing, they love taking, I don't even know the right word to use again. They love consuming pills. Okay, so can this actually affect? Because when you talk about, I'm not fertile, there are so many things involved. So would these abortion pills, is there any ripple effect?
Yeah. There's always a ripple.
So just use that and wrap it up.
So there's always a ripple effect. The fact. Okay, let's start even from the contraceptive. You've not even gotten pregnant to do it. While you're trying to prevent the pregnancy, there's a ripple effect.
Try.
Right. The condoms has ripple effect. I think if you follow me on social media,
that's
you should
what
know
you've
that.
been doing
Yeah. So of the last couple of days, I've been writing about condoms, about the fact that studies have shown that condoms contain some chemicals, and PFAs, the ones they call forever chemicals, these are chemicals that do not disintegrate. Now, they're implicated in a whole lot of serious issues, from cancers to kidney problems to the rest. Now, some of these chemicals are used in minute amounts nonetheless, but consistently using it and exposing yourself, also looking at individual differences. So there are already, in the countries that these studies were carried out, there are already some condom brands that are being sued for using, and some lubricants and the rest. So all of these things have side effects. Now, when I wrote it, somebody asked me, are you saying we should not use condom? I told you, I'm not giving you a choice. I'm giving you an information. The choice is yours. Right? And I want to reference this because it's somebody I look up to, Dario of a CEO, the podcast. So this morning I saw he has dropped a new episode with some of like the 5 top people in the reproductive health space. And in as much as I just watched the teaser, I'm going to go watch it fully. The things they said was that when you stop the menstrual cycle from happening, which is basically what contraceptive does.
Yeah.
When you stop any natural process from happening, something happens in your body and it's detrimental. So, yes, somebody will ask me, so if I don't use condom, what do you say? I don't have any other option for you. I will tell you abstain, but you say you don't want to abstain, so I cannot give you. But then these condoms, this contraceptive, they have effects. So, for example, contraceptive, most of them are hormonal contraceptive. They increase certain hormone level in your body. There's a reason why your body increases certain hormones at some point and reduces others and lifts it. All those things for your body to work. Right. But when you put this contraceptive, you disrupt the functioning of these hormones. Now, these hormones does not just affect your reproductive system. These hormones affect other systems. For example, it affects, because when I was looking at that podcast I just talked about, there is an orthopedic there. It affects your bone. That's why when women get to menopause, they start having more brittle bones, because the hormones that they used to have that was feeding strength to their bone is gone naturally. So think of what you're doing when you're taking these hormones at that time. So you're still going to have those effects. So all of those things have contraceptive have effects. Now, do I have a better option? Abstinence. If you don't want to abstain, this is what I say. Like I said, realize that these things have effect and they have consequences, and that you choose to take them. So all of these things. Now, if we now come to the actual abortion gone. This one was for contraceptive, the abortion gone. It still has effect. I talked about possible damage if it's not taken right, if it's taken in. Now, some of these drugs were not actually made for that. I don't want to mention names of drugs. So they were not actually meant for that. They were actually meant to do other things, but they have this side effect.
Okay.
So people now take it. There's one that was meant for stomach ulcer. But now people know that it has this side effect, so they take it. Now you know what happens when you take a drug when you do not have the problem. Possibly will predispose you to having that problem you did not have.
You multiply your life.
All of those things have effects. That's why I cry for people that take emergency contraceptives as, I want to say vitamin C, but even taking vitamin C always is not advisable. There are people that pop emergency contraceptive, especially this one. I'll mention this one because it's popular posting or two. They pop it like, what do you pop every day? They drink it like water. Do you know what you're doing to yourself? Like, do you understand? In fact, naturally, let's leave God. You know, even if you don't pity any other person, you don't pity yourself. So that is one of the reasons. See, our hormonal level, the disruption of hormones in the human body is almost at an all-time high, both male and female. Because of the things we are taking. So that is the effect. So if I want to say it out there, I'll tell people, please protect yourself. In fact, even medical science recognizes that the best and the most effective way to salve yourself sexually is abstinence. And now after abstinence comes being faithful to a mutually faithful partner. Which, all things being equal, which I know is not equal, should happen in the context of marriage. But we know it's not, I know that it's not happening. Somebody will tell me, be like, the people who do marriage now, they don't even do and pass. It's possible. So even medical science recognize abstinence as number one. The fact that you need to stick to one person as number two before condom and other things that is being used. So that's what I would tell people. Leave sex if you don't have no business with it. If you want to have business with it, stick to one person. And please pray and hope and do what you can that the person also stick to you. But the other one, which is the C, which is the condom use, which can also be choice. Realize that if you don't do these other two, choices will have to be made. And sometimes the choices you make may not even justify what you actually choose to do it. And those consequences will come.
I'd like to just say something before you wrap up. I know you've watched this episode and you're feeling condemned, especially with some of the strong things I've had to say scripturally, and you're feeling condemned, you're feeling, ashamed, and you're feeling judged. I like to tell you that our God is gracious. Okay, scripture says he's good, he's gracious, and he's plenteous in mercy. And there's no sin under the sun that is too big for God to forgive. So if you're someone who has, done abortion in the past, all you have to do is just go to the Lord and ask him for mercy. And scriptures also says that though your sins be like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. That's how much God can change or rewrite your story if you come to him. You might have done it ignorantly in the past. You might have done it, under pressure. You didn't know best. I would just encourage you, if you're someone who has had abortion in the past, please, it's not the end of you. God is not condemning you. If you go to the Lord this night, in fact, this very minute, if you open your mouth and say, Lord, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. Please forgive me. I can tell you instantly the Lord cleans your slate and you become a new person. So the fact that you have done it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, because I know some people are feeling like, man, don't finish now. That's the end. It's not the end. If you go to the Lord and say, I'm sorry, I won't do this again, please have mercy, he will clean you up. Even that's your reproductive organ that has even had complications. The Lord is so plenteous in mercy that he can make it new. He can give you a new womb. He can give you new
ovaries,
all of them.
tubes.
He can renew it for you. So I just like to leave you with that so that you don't watch this episode and feel like it's the end of the world. No, it's not.
Okay, so let me also bring in from the medical point of view. You should also know that there are technologies now that can help you in case, as virtue of a complication from the abortion you didn't know much about. There are assisted reproductive technologies that can help you have the joy of motherhood if you ever want to have it again.
Okay, if you ever want to have and experience the joy of being a mother, it's very possible. First, if you've been a victim of so many mistakes you must have avoided, don't feel bad. Get down on your knees. Pray so well that the Lord of magnanimity may forgive you and may forgive you for life. And at the same time, if you are not ready to father any child and if you are not ready to take responsibilities, please abstain from the temptation that will lead you to putting any woman or pressuring any woman into the family way. Because yourself, I don't think God will forgive you for a lifetime. You come in prayers. And if that hallelujah challenge will work, please work towards it. Okay? So please, this has been a fantastic, rewarding time. Don't feel bad. Don't feel depressed. Don't feel victimized. The truth is, you never can tell what would be of you if you make the right decision. And that's why Uproot the Issue podcast is 24/7 ready to give you the right information, because you obtain it. Full chest. I love you. Stay safe from South Nigeria. I remain your evergreening podcast host. I love to smile, so stay safe.